Street cred sports. Street cred sports. I'm crossing over. I'm Euro stepping.
Hello, this is Keenan of Street Cred Sports Training, and welcome to another episode of Time to Ball. This is episode 109. 109.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
My guy,
Lee Williams.
my co-host. I'm gonna stop messing with him about when he says his name. I'm gonna leave him alone.
It's such a habit because I meet so many people.
Yeah.
And, obviously, if I say Lee, you can name 1,000 Lees from what I understand.
Yeah.
And so it's just a habit, whether it be clients, potential clients.
Yeah, I guess it's good to set yourself apart. Yeah.
And it's short.
Yeah.
Lee Williams.
I mean, I guess I have to think about it. Like, most people don't call me Keenan.
Right.
Most people call me K.
Yeah.
You think about it.
Yeah.
And it's something. It's like, as black people, we give you nicknames and
Off the rip.
we don't.
Off the rip.
I normally see somebody like some of the kids' names and stuff, instead of trying to say their names, not like their names are hard to pronounce, but instead of saying them, I just say their initial. Oh, okay, JT.
I do that all the time. I do that all the time.
And the kids will look at me like,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yo, mama, I'm JT now. No, you're James Tyler. Don't be listening to that coach. This is gonna be the last training we have with you, sir. You can't be changing our responsibilities and stuff on our child. Next thing you gonna know, our child gonna be wanting to listen to 50 Cent and Scarface.
But and being honest, like in the basketball world,
Yeah.
That's common. It's
Yeah.
just what it is.
Yeah.
It's also like a lot of times depending on the space that you're in,
Yeah.
and your play, like it's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
It's like a huge, I guess, it just signifies that,
Yeah.
hey, we respect who you are and your game.
Yeah, I train. My mindset is to train like how I played and how I was in the hood without some of the stuff in the hood.
Of course.
So like when I'm talking to the kids or getting on them about stuff, they sometimes are like, okay, yeah, And then sometimes I have to tell them, look, I'm gonna talk a little street here. And that's when I'll start using expletives. Not like using it towards them, but hey, you got a blanking play, dog. You can't be doing this and that. So
It's part of the game.
and I really think that I really feel that the players, on both sides, the boys and the girls are they take to it. Before we get started, I got a funny story.
Yeah.
So I have the group, right?
Uh-huh.
And for the past like 3-4, it's a team training actually. Past 3 or 4 trainings, I'm trying to get over to them that you can't be so worried about height when you play.
Right.
And I was like, look, back when I was in high school and then playing, walking on at UTEP, man, I'm playing against 6'7", 6'9", 6'11" all the time, right?
Right.
So I would, I would name them. So they kind of snickered. So then the next time I was talking about something and the same subject came up again and they snickered and I was like, hold on. So I pulled up one of my, off the top of my head, I pulled out one of my high school teammates that was like, I think he was 6'10".
Y'all always have some 6'10".
It's like you just, well, oh, there they are. Those are 6'10". Come on over here, you're going to play basketball.
Right.
So, I showed them. They was like, oh. But they snickered again as I was, talking. And I was like, why they be laughing?
Right.
So then last Thursday, I was talking and the subject came up again because I did a drill that I really love where they were getting challenged to try to finish because the coach said they were having trouble finishing. And I explained it again. It's like, man, I keep telling y'all I hadn't played against, guys 6'7", 6'8", and stuff like that.
Oh.
And they laughed. And I was about to say, what the hell is so funny? But before I could say that, I'm replaying what I said in my mind that was the same from our time. And I was like, oh, it's the 6'7" thing. And then they busted out laughing. I was like, you know what? I had a coach on Facebook talk about, if I hear one more kid say 6'7", I'm going off. And the high school girls I have on Monday, they were the ones that were talking about it like months ago. So I had kind of knew about it. So I just kind of cracked up and I was like, oh, okay, it's that 6'7" thing, right? And they just kind of laughed and I was like, y'all generation, man,
It's something
yeah,
else.
it'll pass in another week. Y'all won't even know what that is.
They do it to me. I'm like, hey, get in groups of 6 or 7. They're like, ah. I'm like, oh,
And then,
I don't even mean
and
to.
then it's like, did y'all, I've never listened to the song, but I'm like, did y'all listen to the song to know what the song is really about?
And the thing is, I thought the same thing, but it's not about a song. It's really about a guy who was explaining his stats.
Right.
And then he was talking about his height, 6,
Right.
6 or 7.
Right,
6,
right.
7.
It was
whatever.
the viral video.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
exactly.
the term came from the song.
Right.
Then the person got on and did, okay,
Right.
yeah. But then I'm like, that's
Yeah.
like some songs you listen to and you like, people be loving it and and stuff. And I'm like, man, y'all listen to the lyrics. Y'all know what they talking about.
Man, I listened to some old school songs like 10 years ago. I'm like,
You're
that I
like,
sung as a
whoa.
kid, and I'm like, hey.
Oh, like,
That's-
yeah.
that content is something I should-
Don't you be dancing to that music.
It's crazy.
All right, so without further ado, we're gonna get on with the show. I know y'all like, man, we don't need to hear about all that stuff. Give us our content. All right, so the first thing we're gonna go into is things that interest us. We're gonna start off with the NBA gambling problem. Now, for those of you who don't know, if you've been living under a rock, the FBI has had I think a 5, maybe 10-year investigation, and they came up with all of this, these gambling probes and gambling indictments. It included 5 members of the 5 mafia families. It was Genovese, Lucchese, Bonanno, I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm messing up that last name. The Gambino, and then there's one
They're in
other.
there too?
Huh?
They're in there too?
Yeah, there were associates from there. Now, what makes it, like, well, what does that have to do with NBA? There were 3 NBA people. All three used to, 2 of them used to be players. One of them was a current player, Terry Rozier, who had been investigated, I think, a year or 2 ago by the NBA, but, nothing came of it. Then you have Damon Jones, who's an ex-player and then an assistant coach at one point for the NBA. He played with the Cleveland Cavaliers, a few other teams. And then you have Chauncey Billups, who was an ex-player, NBA champion, Hall of Famer, and current head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. Yeah. At first, when I saw it, and they were slick with how they did it, because they was like, betting, and then they had poker, and they were saying Chauncey, was involved with poker, and I thought Damon Jones was involved with the poker, and I was like, man, he probably at the game, playing and happened to be around some people. But then when the stuff came out and more information came out, I was like, if you don't know, with Chauncey, apparently Chauncey was used as they had a name for it, the name card or something. He was the one who would bring celebrities in, as they called them, fish. He would bring those people into these gambling, to these poker games, and they would play, but everything was rigged. So the only person that was losing was the person that Chauncey Billups brought in. Then Chauncey was paid to do that, right? So he bringing in people, friends, and they're losing money. But then it got worse with him. Apparently, allegedly, and allegedly on that other stuff, because this is just what on the indictment saying. So I want to make sure that he is innocent until proven guilty. Allegedly on this other stuff, he, as a head coach, and in the coaching realm, he was giving information to people to place bets, right? These people might be hurt, scout report or something, injury report, they might be hurt. And it's valuable because you can change and bet a certain way before that information comes out. Because once that information comes out, then you can change the way you bet, right? But if you bet before it's inside information, now you had an upper hand, you can win a lot of money, which is what they were doing. Damon Jones was in the same realm as what Chauncey Billups was, where he was sending people to these gambling poker games that were fixed. He also was doing the same thing with giving them information. The most prominent was a 2023 game between Milwaukee and the Lakers, where he told people, you might want to place your bets. LeBron's not playing. And that information wasn't in there yet. That information wasn't out. Right. As far as Terry Rozier, he was placing bets on himself with the prop bets and stuff. I'm not into gambling. I play the slots.
You sound like you are, man. You had a whole synopsis of what's going on.
I'm just trying.
I had to get away from you, man.
And I tell you something real funny. So Rozier was placing bets on himself, and then not performing so people could win. He could give him money. Now he had a $25 million contract or something, so it didn't make sense.
And the footage on Rozier is bad. It's just real bad. And then apparently Damon Jones was using LeBron's house.
Yes.
I guess having casual conversation with LeBron, and then LeBron's like, "Oh man, I ain't playing tonight," and so he used that information allegedly.
Yeah.
I'm hearing all these names, and it just seems to me that they're just pawns.
Yeah.
The FBI has been a bit shady themselves over the last 50 years.
Yeah.
They love what they call trumping up charges. So let's let it play out.
Yeah.
I'm Chauncey Billups, being as brilliant as he is, a smart guy. I think it's not a money issue, but you never know. I just don't see it. I really don't.
And I'm like, once these players aren't playing anymore, they still make money,
right,
but they don't make the money that they were getting.
Correct.
And I know, when you're like a celebrity, people want to pay you for stuff. Mm-hmm. Look, the gambling probe is one thing, but there was a guy who's a professional poker player who said, I think 2 years ago, he was on video 2 years ago, he went to one of those things. Mm-hmm. Chauncey was there. He took a look and watched the game, and he said, "Oh man, this stuff is rigged." He knew it immediately, and then he left. Yeah. And it was, he was videoing and stuff. And it went viral because people were kind of like, yeah, all right, whatever. Right. Now it's coming out and they're like, oh, damn, he knew it.
And what they mean by rigged is they had infrared, they had
the tables,
they had cameras on the actual tables where it could see the cards.
Right, they had the system.
It was pretty
it was elaborate.
Technology was unreal.
It was very
diabolical
elaborate
for sure. Then they had the X-ray vision glasses where they can see through the cards.
Yeah.
Even if you had the cards on the table.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, the person that's maybe running it doesn't know really all of it, but maybe he does. I don't know.
Yeah. Because they were saying that Gilbert Arenas snitched, which. There's nothing to that. That was just, how people be throwing stuff out. And with Gilbert's situation, Gilbert said, "Nah, I just rented a house. I just rented a house. I didn't know what they were going to be doing." Now, if it turns out that one of the houses he rented happened to be where Chauncey and them, they're going to try to make connections. But just because you rent a house to somebody, that's no big deal.
Gilbert Arenas, I love his podcast, love obviously his game when he played. I just think his comedy relief needs to be tapered down and understood, because he makes jokes about things that should not be joked about at all.
Yeah.
And he's getting to be one of those that it's clickbait for life type folks.
Yeah. But you know why? Because you start to see how something goes viral, and then people start throwing money at you,
Right.
and then you want to be that next person. And,
Correct.
and that's kind of how that stuff goes. So, yeah. No. I had something funny because I have a friend. I'm not gonna say your name, man, because I know sometimes you be watching it. But I have a friend back in Dallas. You know, we played in high school and stuff, and he calls me all the time. You know, we talk and everything. He likes to bet, right? So he goes, you know, the local place where you can go bet. And I happened to talk to him on Friday. I was like, man, I ain't heard from you in a few days. I thought maybe you got swept up in that gambling probe.
Feds
and,
on him, huh?
and he's like, oh man, you ain't shit. Man, forget you and everything. And we started laughing. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on now. Is this call being recorded? Because, you know, you called me and asked me.
No doubt.
He asked me all the time, like, you know, who you think with this and that? And I swear, I think I have a 75 to 80% success
That's
rate where he
crazy.
wins based on it. And I'm always laughing and telling April, like, that boy will never send me no money for anything. Just like,
That's
hey, man,
crazy.
thanks, appreciate you. But I'm not doing it for money. I'm just
Right.
trying to help him out. But I do try to talk to him because it's like, man, you know what? You don't need to be betting and stuff like that.
I just never have gotten into it.
No, we used to go over in Juarez and bet, and it was just kind of like it was a you know, hanging out kind of stuff. But like when I go to casinos, I'll bet the slot machines. Now, hey, if I'm feeling really good, dog, it's the dollar slot machine. I even went $10 slot machine before.
Really?
That shit didn't last long. No,
I figured.
the worst one was when I started saying, yeah, I know I can't be a gambler. We went in, I put a $50 bill in the penny slot machine, right? I was like, what? Max bet, dog. In max bet, I lost. I looked down, it was like 13 cents left off that one bet. I'm like, wait a minute, this was a 49. I was like, and I was about to get mad. And I was like, no, you can't be mad at nobody but yourself because you didn't even know how the machine worked.
Right.
So I
No-
took
no
accountability, and that was the end of my gambling.
I know it was big in college. When we were in college, it
Yeah.
was real big.
Yeah.
And we had some that were taking it a little bit too far.
Yeah.
And putting themselves in compromising situations. Something I just never got into.
Yeah. So.
And thank God for that, for sure.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get the complete picture because, you know, both sides are going to put information out there. At some point, we'll be able to get the full picture. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, but like what you say, there are trumped up charges, and you just have to peel back those layers to find out what the actual meat of what they have. And what if they're going to try to use them to get, you know, to the other people?
Should the NBA have some culpability in this thing? Should they be held accountable as well?
Yeah.
'Cause, no, we talked about this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We talked 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Talked about it.
And it's
It's an issue.
It's an issue. Like they're even talking about getting rid of the prop bets. You know, I've never really understood them. I mean, I've seen them. I get them, but I'm like, why would you have that kind of stuff in? Because you're opening yourself up to stuff. And if a coach takes a player out, and the prop bet was that player wasn't going to play that many minutes, but you're taking him out because maybe he's winded, or maybe he's sore and you want to save him, or maybe the score is out of hand.
Right.
Now people are upset with that. So there's never going to be a winning situation
No doubt.
in this kind of stuff. So you should take away. Now I will say at the beginning, I was like, well, people gonna bet anyway. So if you make it, you know, legal, you won't have as much issues with the underground stuff. But they took it way too far with the different things that they're doing now.
And honestly, you leave the players open for having minimal protection. Because, look, with this technology and social media, it's easy to reach a player.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy.
Yeah.
You say the right thing, and I mean, it's just very easy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they should have learned from the guys that just got banned. He got a lifetime ban earlier this year.
Yeah, you would think they would, but they wouldn't. All right, so let's move on. Other than the gambling problem, the NBA started this past week.
Yes, sir.
Games.
Great
games.
games.
Yeah, great games.
Great
The
games.
Houston and OKC, and then you had the Lakers and Golden State. Now, for me, I actually made a post on Facebook saying the games are the games, right? You're gonna watch them. Some announcers are a lot better than others, I guess, in sense. But I wanted to see how the NBC, thing was going to be, how Inside the NBA with TNT was going to be, and how the Amazon show was going to be.
Okay. I haven't seen Amazon yet.
The NBA on NBC had McGrady. It was McGrady, Melo, Carter, Vince Carter, and I can't think of the lady's name who was there. But
was it Maria?
Yeah, I think it was Maria.
Okay.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad. It's just, it was okay. And I know it was the first one.
Right.
So I know that I'm not gonna judge it from that one, although I put it out, but I gotta give it a month or so of them being on and finding out,
Right.
The Amazon Prime one was a little better.
Who's doing that one?
Okay, Amazon Prime was what's her name? Taylor. That's the lady's name. But it was Steve Nash, Blake Griffin.
Oh wow.
Dirk Nowitzki and
Really?
Udonis Haslem.
Oh,
Right.
I like that.
So theirs was better. They had a whole set. They had a whole set. The NBC one was at the game, right? Because they was doing the ring stuff.
Yeah.
But the Amazon Prime one, they had their own set, and they have different courts. The thing I really liked about theirs was the Prime. I'm sorry, yeah, the Prime was they had a segment where they was talking about the vertical threat on a pick and roll. So they had everybody come out. They highlighted them and they discussed, why when this person sets this screen, they're important to the offensive flow with people getting open. You got to rim run really hard, and they explained it. I really, really liked that, but it wasn't Chuck Neal, man.
No, like to be honest, like you have to. When Ahmad Rashad left, it was a kind of a murky waters for a while, just because you're used to that voice,
right?
And so I think it's going to take time for those crews to really build up their audience.
Yeah.
I as much as Carmelo Anthony is one of my top 5, my top 7 players of all time. I think company maybe needs to get him a suit. I just think that's important. But I like him being himself.
Yeah, I did.
Inner
like
AI.
That. I did like it.
However, I really feel like, and he's a phenomenal businessman.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
I think he needs a put on a suit.
Yeah, and when you listen to his podcast, he's, I don't want to say he's dry with how he talks, his sense of humor and stuff. You get it, but he's more to the point type stuff. He's great when he's telling stories, but when you start wanting, sometimes you want, I think that's why the Inside, and they've gotten so great at it. It's just they just turn anything into something funny.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's almost like Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell could come in and say, "Oh my God, I just got shot," and you start laughing because of the way he said it.
Right.
But he really got shot, right? That's kind of how Inside the NBA is. But the NBC, I think it'll
take some time.
There were people this was so wrong. There were people wait a minute, how you gonna have those 3 guys on hosting the show on ring night? And none of them have ever won a ring. And I was like, oh man, that's wrong. That was so wrong, man. Man. The way they showed it on the internet when they did it, I laughed just because I'm like, come on, man, y'all can't be doing that.
Don't do
so
that.
I'm not laughing at them.
Right.
I'm laughing at the fact that they would put something out
That's
there like
crazy.
that. Yeah. So
the internet is undefeated.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Undefeated.
But that boy Chuck, they got into it. Him and Kenny got into it.
I heard.
Yeah.
I missed it though.
Yeah. They got into it.
I heard some. He says, I gave my first ring to my dad.
No, that was old.
Oh, okay.
Kenny said gambling is an addiction. Because
Okay.
the first show came the day after the probe, after all the investigation, all that stuff came out.
Okay.
So Kenny said it's an addiction. Chuck took offense to it. Like, ain't no damn addiction. They were just stupid. That was no addiction. They were stupid. They have all the money and they're doing it. And then Kenny says, that's what makes it an addiction.
Absolutely.
But Chuck was like, no, and I agree with both of them. Like,
because he bets.
yeah, and I think that's why he got, because they talk about how he bets a lot of money and how he lose.
He does.
And him and Jordan were kind of on that, man, are they addicted to gambling or are they just, they have
were
money?
Addicted to gambling.
Yeah, so.
And they're trying to sell it as I'm just really competitive.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
stop.
yeah.
So if you was competitive, Charles, you lose all that weight.
Oh, but he did.
He did.
Oh, yeah, he was looking skinny on the show.
He had a magic.
Yeah,
Charles.
no, he's
fantastic, Charles.
Yeah, so
man,
so
God bless you, Charles.
So yeah, so no, it was great, seeing it back, and I did like the the Prime. I really liked the Prime, and they only do theirs on Friday nights. So I really did like the Prime. I liked it, not as much as Inside the NBA, but I think I might warm up to it a little bit more faster. Now the NBC one, if every time they're doing it, they're on location, it's going to be kind of dry.
You cannot be on location every time.
Right.
Like, you got to get in the studio, man.
I get that, but I want to see them in the studio to see what they're going to be doing and stuff.
Then they got Jordan on there too, right?
Yeah, and people were complaining that, well, man, he wasn't really talking about nothing. But everybody else was like, yo, it was fascinating because you were getting, some insight. And he was talking about how he hadn't picked up a ball or something. And he was over a friend's house who had let him stay or something. And he went over there and they was asking him to come, shoot. And he hadn't shot. So he had to go shoot he went and shot a free throw.
Right, the kid asked him.
And he said he was so nervous because he hadn't shot a free throw.
A lot of pressure.
And forever. And he switched it. And you could tell, because there's the actual video out.
Yeah, I saw it.
And you could tell, and you could look on his face and be like, yeah, yo, and I get it, because like if you ain't, you the guy, and you ain't had a ball in your hand and then they have you to shoot it. So yeah, I'm excited. Can't wait for a lot of different games. I want to ask the question. It's kind of a segue.
Okay.
All right. So I want to know what you feel about this.
All
right. So the Los Angeles was playing Minnesota.
Okay.
Lakers versus the Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
Luka was killing them.
Yeah.
Right? Like Minnesota, I have no idea what their defensive scheme is and how they play defense. I mean, I know at one point they were a top tier defense 2 years ago, but these past 2 years, and I guess sometimes it's just players, and some players are gonna get their own bucket. So I'm not saying they're gonna handcuff Luka, but like he had 32 points in the first half. So he's at around 48.
Right.
Like 3 to 4 minutes left in the game. Lakers up by 23. Minnesota had called a timeout, put their reserves in. Mm-hmm. Lakers put their reserves in, but Luka was still there. And that's when you knew he wants 50 piece, right?
Yeah.
So he gets fouled and misses the first free throw, makes the second one, ends up 49. And I'm like, are they going to keep him in? No, they foul right away and pulled him out.
That's good.
So my question is, do you find anything wrong with them leaving him in there, knowing that he needed a bucket?
No, I don't. Here's what I find wrong. I think it's the length that you leave him in. For example, if he makes the free throws, okay, cool. You got your 50. Go ahead and sit down. And I think it's that's just my thought. 50 pieces don't come very often.
Right.
So you gotta let him go get it. It's not like it's a minute left. It's 4 minutes left now. My thoughts is it gets to 1 minute, 2.5 maybe. You got to do something. So I don't have a problem with it.
So if it's a minute or 2 minutes left in the game, he's sitting on 48. They're up by 23,
gotta sit
and they
down.
leave them in.
You got to sit down. That's
Really?
a problem. Yeah.
It's a problem?
If I'm coaching, I'm going to call timeout. I'm going to send me a goon in, and Luka's going to miss the next 5 games. And there will be a brawl.
You know, it is fascinating because at first I was like, oh, he hunting at 50 piece. But then I'm like, well, man, that's their problem. They should have stopped them. You know, they should have did a better job defensively.
Yeah.
You know, you can't punish the player for being able to be gifted in scoring.
Well, I mean, I guess nobody can be mad at it. They let LeBron play forever and hunt points and try, so what's the difference?
Must be basketball season.
I'm sorry, man.
Here we go with LeBron reference.
You know, again, 4 minutes left is a lot of time.
Yeah,
NBA.
but
even if you're reserves.
But Minnesota waved the white flag. They
Right.
put their reserves in.
Sometimes coaches, more so in the NBA, will say, you know what, y'all sit down and let their reserves. Steve Kerr used to do that a lot.
No.
And let their reserves.
This wasn't
do.
it.
No.
This wasn't that. I mean, I know exactly what you're saying. But you'll see that round 8 between 7 and maybe 9 minutes left where they'll do that because you're trying to give them. But that wasn't what it was like. Yeah, we're waving a white flag. The Lakers now to your point, when that happens, I have seen the other team that's up. They leave their starters in for a little bit longer just to make sure that they don't get no run. Right. I've seen it happen, but they took everybody out but Luka. But I mean, I don't like, for me, I didn't have a problem with it, or I did. I was indifferent to it. I just wanted to know like what you thought about it.
It just, it really, to me, it's case by case.
Yeah.
And so with a minute or something left, I just don't see it that way.
And it's funny because there are going to be a lot of people that when you put this up, there are going to be a lot of coaches that that was wrong, right? And so it's like it almost comes down to how you looked at the game or how you played and stuff like that.
Right.
Because some people say, well, if you're up 20, you should stop trying to score or something like that. Man. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, you play. You play the game. You gotta stop us, right? So
and you know from the get out if a team can stop you or not, as far as the league, but when it comes to high school, it's a little bit different.
Okay, yeah.
I take highly offense to that.
Yeah, I think when would you be okay with it, starting in college or starting in the pros? I'd say maybe pros.
I'd say pros.
Right.
College and high school,
right.
Leave alone. Game is done.
Wow, I'm getting good at the segue. Segues us to
what's going on.
Our last little topic.
What's that?
Colorado and Utah played last night, man. And Utah,
I ain't even sleep well.
There was a way I was going to describe it, but I was like, I can't say that. But man, Utah beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah,
they were up. I believe it was 40-0 or 43-0 at half.
Yeah, it was
40-0.
It was 40. It was 40.
40-0 at halftime.
I thought it was 48, but
ended up being 53-7.
Yeah.
Deion professed that it was his worst, but he said he ain't got his butt whooped like that since his mom whooped him with a belt, right? So, and that's his worst college as a coach ever and stuff.
I mean, I saw it coming. Not particularly that team, not Utah specifically, but I saw it coming because he's got a lot going on. He's dealing with it. He's trying to figure out his health.
Yeah.
And I'm not making excuses at all.
Right.
He's trying to figure out his health. You got other schools calling. Penn State's trying to lure him in. They're throwing all kinds of things at him.
Do you think he's ever going to be an elite coach in the same neighborhood as the top coaches as far as, making the playoffs or doing it? Or do you think the last year with Shedeur and Hunter, where they went to a bowl, we're gonna look back in a few more years and say that was as high as he came?
No, I think if Deion went to one of those blue bloods or whatever
Right.
you want to call it, he definitely would be highly successful. Number one, he's a great communicator.
Yeah.
2, he has access to the NFL, complete access.
Well, shit, maybe not as much now as he did with the way they were doing his son.
What
I know
what I
you're
mean
talking
by
about, though. I know
that,
what
like
you're
how
talking
to get there, the
I know what
road
you're
to
talking
get there. He can make a call and say, "Hey, I got a defensive lineman."
Right.
Talk to him.
Right.
I mean, so he understands how to monetize. He gets kids paid, whether they're walk-ons or whatever. So I mean,
Yeah, I mean he's doing a lot of good. They beat, I don't know who it was they beat last week.
Last week, yep.
But
It's
they
a good
were
win.
a ranked team. So that was like, hey, but like you come back and you get blasted like this, like it wasn't competitive. I was watching a movie and I was like, when the movie's over, I'm gonna turn it on. Watch. I turned it on, saw the score, and I was like, oh damn. Is there a sequel to the movie we just watched? Can we watch the sequel? So,
but at the same time, everybody has them.
who?
Huh?
Who has what?
Everybody has at some point in their careers had, they've gotten blown out. It's
Like
just
that?
Now you're seeing it. I mean, absolutely, man. I mean, look at Alabama last year. I mean, they were laughing.
But it wasn't Nick Saban. Has Nick Saban ever had?
What? But that's Nick Saban.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But you said everybody.
Deion's not the best that ever did
I know,
it.
but you said everybody.
But Nick Saban's not everybody. Let's just be honest. When we talk about guards in the league, Jordan and Kobe are not everybody.
I
right?
get you.
They're different tiers.
I get you.
But hey, Deion, take care of your health first, man.
Yeah.
We need you here.
And I think it was like, this year might have been kind of a rebuilding because
absolutely
you lost some players.
Right.
But the thing is you worry about like that the offensive lineman he had, Seaton, I think is his name, really high level guy. Is he going to be leaving if they have a bad season somewhere? Yeah. Because they're going to be like, man, come on over here. You play with the big boys. We're going to get you paid. All right, so we're back with our basketball ideology. I went and washed my mouth out with soap for all the bad things I was about to say before the break that I was going to get in trouble with. So I don't have to worry about no butt whooping.
My mom always taught me, if they tell them the truth, it's not bad.
Well, yeah, you tell my mama that. Because it is. You are 100% right, but she'd be like, boy, I can't believe you said that.
If it's facts.
Mama, it was true. Yeah, but you don't need to be saying it like that.
Oh, well, okay.
Put the phone close to your butt so I can give you a whooping. And see, the funny thing is, my mom worked for Southwest Airlines. It was weird.
Really?
Because when
Why you always driving?
I can tell you something about that. All right, so when I first came to UTEP, she worked for the Dallas Times-Herald, the newspaper, the classified ad. So I grew up going in there, watching the mail and stuff like that. When I left the UTEP, Dallas Times-Herald went over and got taken over by Dallas Morning News. She ended up getting the job with Southwest Airlines. So under Southwest Airlines, family could fly. So she would get these non-rail passes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I had the ability to fly home every weekend.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yep. I know about non-rail. My dad worked for Continental.
So So I'm flying home one weekend. I think I leave on a Friday. No, I was getting ready to leave. I was on my way up there. And as I'm going through the, TSA checkpoint and stuff, this guy comes over and say, hey, how you doing? And so I was like, I'm good, man. He's like, I need you to come over here. And I'm like, who are you? He was DEA.
What?
So he showed him and I was like, okay, what's going on? He's like, well, we've been monitoring. You fly a lot.
What?
And I was like, well, yeah, I do fly a lot. My mom works for the airlines. I'm going home. Like, yeah. So they took me over.
You never told me that.
They took my bag, right? And they looking, and I'm befuddled. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Right.
Like, and I'm genuinely like, if you tell me what's going on, I can help you. Right. And then it dawned on me, they were looking for drugs.
Yeah.
So they thought that I was flying back and forth as
drugs.
a mule or transporting.
Yes, sir.
Now, I didn't understand El Paso's, quote unquote, rich history of drug trafficking. That didn't cross my mind.
Of course.
I was just kind of like, well, if you've been following me, I spent a lot of times at basketball court, class, a couple of girls' houses.
Right.
And Domino's Pizza, right? I'm going to get in so much trouble. I'm going to get in so much trouble.
April, I don't know what he's talking about. I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
So it's like, I know I'm not, dealing drugs. I could have told you that.
Right.
But they went through everything.
Yes, sir.
And then they was like really intent on finding something. And then they was looking at me like, well, why are you going home? And I said, I just told you, I live in Dallas. I'm homesick. So my mom just got the job and I fly home every chance I get on the weekend. They were pissed that they couldn't find anything. And I was like, well, what? I was like, what made you think that I was running drugs? And he said, because you fly home all the time. You're flying, almost weekly. And I was like, yeah, but there are people who run businesses and stuff that they fly more frequently than I do.
Right.
And he was like, well, you know what? I'm sorry.
You fit the profile, man.
He's like, I'm sorry that, and I had these shirts while I was buying them. They were like, what do they call them? Black shirts. So mine, I had one that had Too Black, Too Strong on it.
There it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And I almost felt bad for him because not like I was doing something, but I was like, man, you picked the wrong person. So I explained everything and he apologized. He wasn't very aggressive and he was aggressive in how he talked a little because he wanted me to know he meant business.
Right.
But he was totally respectful.
That's cool.
Right. He was totally respectful and he apologized profusely. Look at that.
Hey, there you go.
SAT words, and then I have the TAS words as well, where it's backwards. but I left. I was cracking up. Like I was a little bit like, I can't believe that. I told my parents and stuff. So when I came back, when I was leaving, they were there.
Really?
And he looked at me kind of like, don't blow my cover.
Right.
And I was like, and I kept on going and I went on by my way. But yeah.
That is some of the scariest.
Yeah.
So, I was in Canada. And so apparently there was a guy with my name that was on a no-fly zone across the world. Like they had been looking for him for months. He had my exact name. So, according to them. So they gave me a blue folder. I was like, go over there. My mom was like, what did you do? So my whole family, we were in there. I was like, I don't know what's going on. So they let them go. It was like, my mom was like, hey, what is going on here? Ma'am, we'll handle this. We'll let you know afterwards. So they called my name. I stood up. They was like, oh man, no, that ain't you. Go ahead and leave. So I guess from what I understand, it was a person of Asian descent. And obviously I'm not of Asian descent, so left, but apparently he was doing some really, really bad things. They were looking for him. It's scary. It's scary.
He probably like 5'8" or 5'7".
I wouldn't even give him that.
Yeah.
5'3".
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
But I understand. I've been through that, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
In those rooms that you never even thought the airport had.
Yeah, you don't know, like, well, y'all, I didn't even get took to a room. That was what was bad. They going through my stuff while everybody else is coming through there, and they looking at me like,
well, his cover was blown already then.
But I at the time, it's like, well, but we got him,
Oh,
it's
that's
like
embarrassing in front of everybody.
And I'm like, how you doing this stuff? So it was funny. All right.
Boy.
So let's get on to our basketball ideology. A couple of topics.
Okay.
The first thing I want to talk about is basketball season is literally around the corner.
It's here.
It's
High
about
school
to start
basketball.
high school basketball. Yes. Obviously, pros have started. College will be starting soon.
Right.
One thing I've never done, and I do talk to parents about this when they bring me their kids. If you have a shot, right? I'm talking about jump shots.
Okay.
And your jump shot needs to be fixed.
Okay.
Something wrong with it.
Right.
I never tried to fix a broken jump shot or something that's going to take 2 to 3 months because mentally that player is going to be thinking about everything and they just can't play, right? Now, if there's something quick that I can do, like speed the shot up, a little bit hand placement, getting the ball up a little higher, that doesn't affect the shot. You know, those things, there are a few things that won't affect your shot that you can do. But all of that other stuff, and I've seen, you know, some people trying to fix people's shots, and I wanted to tell them, like, you know, you should leave that shot alone right now. You know, wait until the after season because you're gonna ruin whatever momentum they have.
Because when you do change someone's shot, and what we're speaking of is like an overhaul. Right. Like you're gonna change everything. Well, I shouldn't say everything, but you're gonna change most, the majority of what the athlete is doing. Like there's a grace period that player needs to make those adjustments. And a high school coach, a college coach, or any church league coach is not gonna be able to give that kid grace in games. It's just not gonna happen. Right.
Now, one thing I will say I did, and this was kind of an emergency, and the player was in a kind of a rare situation where they were old enough to do it. Okay. What I did was I told the player, I want you, while you're playing, while you're practicing, to keep shooting the way you normally do. Okay. When you are at home, the corrections we make, you're going to do them at home. And if you have your goal at home, you're going to do it at home. Not dribble shooting. You're going to do, you know, the stationary, you know, catch and shoot, form shooting, the correct way. Okay. I said, and what I think, and I told the parents, I said, what I think will happen if you are disciplined enough to do this is I think in a couple of weeks, you will start to shoot the way we've been practicing in the games.
That's different.
And not be affected by it.
I hadn't done that before. I'm not brave enough.
And it did. It worked out perfectly.
That's awesome.
It worked perfectly. Now, could that be done with everybody? Absolutely not. Right. But the player was such that I trusted that they were disciplined enough to do it and not be bothered by what the results were. Because they were having a hard time where they were shooting and they were inconsistent, and then when they missed, you know, they were taken out. Yeah. After this after this change, their percentage went up.
That's awesome, man. I've never seen that before.
I only.
But I guess it depends on the kid.
Yeah, you can't do it with everybody, and I think I felt so comfortable with my dealings with the player, and understanding, because you have to have a understanding. I have a flow with certain players. It's not something that like I'm gonna have a flow in it. There's a natural flow sometimes, you know, with your players that you can expand and do things. And I had that flow with them where I was like, because he was struggling with the ideal of he's getting shots open, his shot is so inconsistent, and he needed help. And I was like, you know, man, this Miller, you know, season started. Like we need to wait. Wow. And he's like, is there anything you could do to help? And I was like, well, there is one thing. I said, you'll probably be the first person I've ever done with this. Right. But awesome. It could work. So yeah. That's awesome. But yeah, on the regular, you know, you have people like sometimes I've watched where parents are really involved with trying to help their kids shoot and stuff and all of this stuff, and I'm thinking like, and I don't want to say, because I appreciate the fact that you're involved and you're helping, but at the same time I'm like, no, that's not correct. Right. You know, and I want to say something, but it's like, well, it's not my place. You know, if they ask me, then I would give them feedback, but I don't want to, and I don't ever want to insert. Now, if I'm doing the training, if I'm training and the parent tries to come up, that's happened maybe 3 to 5 times in the 25 plus years that I've done that. Because like I always say, I always let people know I'm the alpha when you come in here when it comes to the training. Right. And I'm going to make sure you understand that, if what you were doing was working, you wouldn't be in here with us.
Absolutely.
Right. So, yeah, it's.
And this is why the off season is so important.
Yeah.
It's why the off season is so important. And this is why you really have to be detailed as possible with everything you do.
Right.
And ensuring that all that stuff is correct. Your mind has to be in line with your feet.
Yeah.
Your whole body. So I mean, it's just the summers are so important. And I'm not saying don't take vacations or whatever, what have you, but wherever you go and whatever you do, make an allotted time
to
make sure you work on that craft. Do something about your craft every day.
Yeah, because there are certain things that if you can't, when the season starts, you're not gonna have time to try to work and implement it. You need to go with what you know, and stop trying to do that. But yeah, it was just, and every time I think about something like this, I think about that player, and how much confidence that player has now. And the parents and how they're like I could do no wrong with them now, right? And it's a great feeling to know that you helped them, but for them to see the same transformation that I seen and how he was able to go about with it, it was
awesome, man.
It was really good. It was really good.
That's incredible.
Okay, so next thing on basketball ideology, I've had this on the thing for a long time, but recently it's like, you know what? I want to put this out there. What type of offense would I run if I were a coach? Now, the only reason I'm bringing this up, is because, I have to watch film and all of this, watching games, watching the set, trying to figure out what they're going to do, how the plays run. Every offense is usually tailored toward their best player in some aspect. There are some offenses where it's like, yeah, we might have a best player, but we run this type of offense, right? I created a play because I have my high school players and they do groups. And I don't want to work
high school's doing groups too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah. And what I don't want is if I have a player from this school and a different school, I don't want to work with this one on their play.
Because then they know.
Because, they might not even play each other, but I never want that coach to be like, hey, why are you running our play? That's it. When I do that, that's an individual training. It's just me and that player.
Yeah.
So I wanted to keep, because I need to transition more in the in season. So I wanted to keep, fresh in some things. So I created an offense. So the offensive set was a 4-out, 1 in. It was wing, top, wing, corner, and then a post, right? So, I had all the different plays. First play, ball goes to the wing, post goes out, sets the screen, player comes in. The first option is to catch him right here for a layup, right?
Gotcha.
Second option, same thing, is players, the defenders close, they continue to run for a catch and shoot or pump fake, one dribble drive, right?
Okay.
Then I went to the next part because I was like, I wanted to highlight that player. This is our best player, so we're going to give that player space. So this part, ball goes to the wing, post comes and sets a screen to give that player this, this space over here. Meanwhile, these two, they're in movement to keep the defenders from being like set and being able to help.
Right.
So then I had some, dribble handoffs and some going up and setting screens. So I was having different things. They loved it. And one of my players said, you wouldn't believe it. We added some stuff to the offense because some of the stuff that we run, it's pretty evident that teams have caught on. And some of the stuff we added
and that's crazy.
was
awesome.
I loved it because it was elements of what you were doing. And so I thought like my ideal offense would be an offense where there was movement, but I wanted to highlight my player. And if my best player or if any player on my team had a distinct advantage, we were going to maybe shift some things around. Unless it's a dominant big,
right.
We were going to shift some things around and we were going to play at that person. What say you?
I like that. For For me, I like the fact that you either, number one, you allow the players to be creative.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So for me, I've always, that's the first question when I'm recruiting a kid. I got a phone call this later on today with the kid. First thing they ask is, what kind of offense do you run?
Right.
And I've always said, well, we have an offense is two offenses in one.
Mm-hmm.
Two styles. No, what style? That's what they always ask me.
Mm-hmm.
What style of play? So for us, it's two offenses in one.
Mm-hmm.
We want to push and run, and then we have some sets that we like to run as well. And so it gives you a mixture of both. But some of those things change depending on my personnel.
Right.
So for me, it's always about my personnel. I've never been run to say, okay, I ran this offense for 15 years and we're going to keep doing it, regardless of who I have. Number one, I become easy to scout.
Right.
I don't even have to watch film.
Right.
I know what you're going to do. And you have a lot. What I never did was I never ran all my sets the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And there was always one or two plays, quick hitters or sets, that I didn't run all year to the playoffs.
Right.
I never got to the playoffs, but I never got to use them. But anyway, like I definitely recommend that. But the biggest thing that I've always did, whatever we were running, what do y'all think? What can we add?
Right.
And I used to make players run their own offense.
Right. Right.
So say I give them a skeleton and say,
then,
what would you do?
Yeah. And it's important, and you can't do it with every player because
Of course.
not all players have that. But
Right.
as I kept doing it, because I started doing it with some of my other high school players in individual training, and it's evolved to obviously in offense, what's the most variations or options in one play did any of your plays have?
Probably about 7 or 8.
Okay, yeah, because I was on 9 with this, and I'm still learning because as I'm doing it, I'm always trying to understand how they're going to play it, but at the same point, it's like, well, I'm using what I've done with the players within their offenses and saying, look, when this happens, you have a 75% chance that this is the defender that's going to come, and this is what your options will be.
Right.
So I'm still able to keep that, but I'm enjoying it because it's like right now I can't just do we're gonna work on this move and beating them up and stuff because they're going through practice every day.
Right, and they're in
so
season.
So I'm trying to do more. The
smart.
end season is more IQ. We get if they have a set where they run offense and we walk through it and they're going to get the ball here. Okay, when you get the ball here, this is what you're supposed to do. But we're going to explore 2 or 3 ways you can be effective here, right? And run some drills out of that, some simple, whatever.
Yes, sir. That's great. Like I always did. I took, for me when I was a high school coach, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we worked on this side of the floor on the offense. And then once we got that, then we pretty much added it. Or maybe it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we did this side, and then Friday we scrimmaged, put it all together. But in the options of whatever set or whatever offense we're doing, there's options within the options.
Yes.
And those are just to read and react.
Yes.
So if I'm supposed to catch and come off a DHO or come off a screen or whatever, I'm reading that. If they're trying to jump it, I'm just going to back cut, score that. Those are just one of the options. And what I feel like what you do with that is you teach players how to play the game instead of how to running a play.
Right. And that was the grand reason for me doing all of this.
That's awesome, man. I gotta come check y'all out.
Appreciate that. Okay, so last thing is you done lost your damn mind.
Here we go.
So in honor of it being Halloween coming up,
okay,
my question to you now, I really should be saying we done lost our damn mind talking about scary movies. But the question is, what's the scariest movie you ever saw?
See, this is totally unfair because he's a scary movie buff. Like he knows all of them. Okay. And the thing with me is I'm scared of scary movies. Okay. So what I'm gonna say is a movie that scared the hell out of me and stopped me from watching scary movies. And it's the one reason why I'm scared of cats to this day. Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery was good.
See?
Oh, it
You
was
see what I'm talking about?
really good.
See?
Now, are you talking about the original or the remake?
I'm talking about the original.
Yeah, the original. The original.
Listen,
yeah.
when that cat turned, that black cat turned with those eyes, and
Yeah.
I was done.
I
couldn't sleep for 2 days.
When the little boy tells, I think it was his mom, we want to play with you too, or something like that.
I try not to.
That was creepy.
See,
that was creepy. That was
this
creepy.
dude here,
Yeah.
he knows every scary movie there is. Well, what is yours?
You know, it's actually 3, and I know I'm supposed to say that,
No,
but
go
it's
ahead.
3 because they all affected me so badly that even to this day when I watch them, I know the scene is coming. They're like, oh, you know, I'm grown now. I'm just gonna turn the channel. You know, I'm gonna start doing that because I don't want to see that scene. The Howling.
Ooh,
Because
I have seen that.
the Howling, the first transformation I had ever seen was
That's with Jack, right?
Jack.
Not Nichols. Nichols.
Now D Wallace was in that movie.
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
she
I got
was
the wrong.
Yeah,
okay.
no, it was scary. I mean, it was like
I hadn't seen. Okay, I hadn't
you know,
seen that.
there was no like where
I
you
thought
felt
Jack
comfortable.
Nicholas was in that one.
Yeah, that's the Wolf or Wolfman. Yeah, that one.
Okay,
Yeah, but
okay.
this one was back in the 80s. Very scary. One of the best werewolf transformation scenes still to this day.
Really?
The second one was Creepshow. Now,
I saw that.
the first one, Creepshow, was scary because there was this one. It's like 5 tails in one, 3 to 4 tails in one.
Is it like Tales of the Crypt?
It's just like that.
Okay.
So there's this one called the Crate, and in the one called the Crate, this janitor is cleaning at a university, and he finds he was trying to buy a soda. His quarter fell, rolled underneath the stairs, and he was looking for it with his flashlight, and there's a box, big box. So he's looking, and he's reading it. So then he calls a professor, and the professor comes, and they're looking at it. So there's like, hey, well, you know what? Let's open it. So they go to open it, and they're peeking in. He's like, ooh, there's some gold in there. Oh my God, we're gonna be rich. And he sticks his hand in there, and then he starts screaming. So when he starts screaming, the other professor gets knocked back, Crate falls down, and the guy standing there like this, and then the lid comes up, and it looks like a wolf, but it was a Tasmanian devil, I guess is what it was.
Man.
And it grabs the man and pulls him in. And as it's pulling him into the box, blood's going everywhere, and he's shaking. So he's devouring him as he's being pulled in.
Why are you so excited, man?
That scene, man, bothered me so much.
Really?
Because for me, it was more of not seeing it, right? Your imagination,
I see.
Your imagination
Yeah.
goes because you're envisioning
Yeah,
what
I got you.
but you don't actually see it.
You just
you
hear
know,
it.
you hear all of the blood and the crunching and the screaming and stuff. So you're imagining. You know, I'm just gonna leave it at them two, because the other one, The Exorcist, was scary.
Oh no, I don't.
The Exorcist was scary, but for a different way. So for me, it would be the Howling and Creepshow, to where even to this day, when Creepshow comes on, I'll watch all of the other ones. But when the Crate comes on, I just turn it.
Yeah, I do not do scary movies. I wouldn't even watch a scary movie in the daytime.
Yeah, that's
I don't play those games. Nah, man.
Yeah, and I have a video that I did.
What got you into that?
My uncles, because they watched movies, so they always took me to these movies, and I was like 9 or 10 when they were taking me to these movies.
Wow.
And my uncle had his room. I could show you pictures. He had his room, and it was set up like a theater. So he had and he bought all of these movies and stuff. So I was always over there, and I was always watching them. So I've seen like all kinds of scary movies and stuff.
Oh, man, Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I lost my damn mind.
Most definitely.
That's all right.
Most definitely.
That's all right. I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see you the movies. Hey man, Creep Show coming on. We're gonna do a watch a Creep Show watch party. Be like, man, move your hands. Stop covering your eyes.
You missed me with that. No sir.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. We appreciate everything. Remember to continue to like, subscribe, follow, comment. Let us know what you think. We're enjoying it, the back and forth with everything. We have some more stuff that we're gonna probably be dipping into. We'll let you know. I'm
excited for it.
Yeah, we'll let you know
it's
coming.
It's coming.
With that being said, we're gonna end it like we always do. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Peace.
We out.
Street cred sports, say it with your chest. Yeah. Go get it from the net. Street cred sports, okay, that's a bet.